assault billet radius rods for Maverick now.
It's time for some dirt therapy.
Alright, so today we're going to put a new part on the Maverick R. Had a good buddy build me a set of these lower rods because I've been a factory one. Bigger DOM tubing, he used factory ends. A little bit better clearance, far tougher. He built me a set, but the day has come. Some billet ones are coming on the market with the quickness. We've got assault billet radius rods for Maverick R now. This is a pretty early set. Also, Super ATV makes this nut plate. The assault ones are going to use a stud in this area right here. Far thicker than former X3s. Really don't see there ever being an issue with this. It's a tapered fit, like a ball joint. So yeah, super cool assault billet clearance radius rods from Maverick R. So we're going to tackle this thing and swap them out. First thing is this rear fascia has to come off, or at least loose, to get a wrench in there, because these upper rods go to this bracket right here. So in an ideal world, we'll be able to get it loose, kind of just pick it up a little bit, slide a gun in there, get them off. Yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. So there's nut plates on the back of these four. They're tied 2 and 2. That's what the rivet's for. So you're gonna get those out. So when I put this bumper on, of course the bumper's gonna have to come off to get to this fascia. But when I went to put the bumper on, I didn't put a wrench on the backside, and I spun the nut off the plate. So I put the nut back in there with no plate, use a wrench. Canam's got that crazy yellow Loctite that's crazy strong. So carefully take a torch, reach up inside here, and just heat the nut, all four of them, just a little bit. That'll help loosen the Loctite. Also, the backside of the nut is a 24. A wrench will fit in there either one way. Hold them and then pull them out. Don't just try to spin them. If you spin them and don't heat them, you're probably going to break the nut off the plate. That's why the Super ATV offers this welded nut plate, so we'll take them off, we'll slide it up in there, and then use it instead. Yeah, I'm going to install these assault billet radius rods on the Maverick R. Alright, so getting these four out, not a big deal. 21, 24 on the back, heat them up, hold the wrench, you'll pop them out. Lower is the same one, 21 on both sides. You can reuse your bolts, or Super ATV gives you new bolts. They may look like they're not very good, but they're 10.9 rated. 10.9s, and the factories are 10.9s. So tensile strength on both of these bolts is exactly the same. Big advantage here is new nylock nuts. I would do those, and a little bit of Loctite. I mean, you can reuse your old stuff, but they give you new stuff, and it's rated plenty strong. So here's the thing. There is a card key on here. This is a stamp lock nut, so it's got a little bit of locking to it. Get it loose out but flush. And this is a tapered fit in here, just like a ball joint. So you get that loose, take a big pry bar, I have one here. You can stick it through the knuckle, and it'll actually hit on the steel bearing carrier, and then you can pry against it, and just, you know, I mean, if you're just prying, it's a good bit of force. You can also pry and tap on your aluminum right here. That'll kind of shock load it, and that'll break it free. because it's a tapered fit. But that's how you get that loose, is pry bar, pry, and then a little bit of tapping right here. You could tap out here a little bit also, but you really need to shock load inside here. So replacing the nut plate, this is the exact reason why you want to put a wrench on it and hold it, because my wrench didn't get all the way on there and it twisted it up. So now it won't line up. You have to basically break this rivet, get this out, try to re-straighten it, then put it back in there. And like, you can cut these nuts off, put a washer behind them and use them again, like not a big deal. But you've got this complete little plate here, and it actually goes in fairly easily. Just in through the bottom and kind of just roll it up like that, and now it's sitting in there. Just line up the holes and put the bolts back in. You could probably, once you get the bolts in, you could probably drill holes through it here and here and throw a rivet through it. That way it just sits in there when you take the bolts out. Just depends on your maintenance program. I take these machines apart fairly often, pull the axles, grease them, and stuff like that. So I'll probably drill it and put a rivet just to hold it centered. And that's it. Super cool nut plate, super easy. Went ahead and put the studs on here. They're just like factory. They have a little hole for a Carter key. I used a tad bit of red Loctite and the lock nut. You could put a tad bit of Loctite on the tapered surface so it'll lock it up inside here. I don't think it's really needed, but you can. So yeah, that's the bottoms. Well, we can't do the bottoms until we get the bumper off to do the top. So yeah, we'll keep on tackling. Alright, so I went ahead and mounted the lowers. I compared them hole to hole against the factory ones, or my buddy's factory built ones. He jigged them, matched them hole to hole on a factory one. Easiest way to do that is, just compare them factory to what you're putting on. That way it keeps all the alignment good. They are adjustable. Heim joints on the ends. They're all adjustable on one end. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but if you think it's a little off, just push the bolt through, set it on the ground, let it settle, and then you can raise it up, twist it a little bit, put it back in. Don't tighten it up, just set the bolts in. But now that we got the lowers mounted just to hold everything, couldn't do the centers because, well, the bumper needs the centers. Then you move to the uppers. So if you zip these little two Torx screws out, right here where the bumper would slide in, actually at an angle, you can see my ratchet and sockets are on there. So you can leave the fascia on, you don't got to take it off. Super cool. So put your ratchet on here, put your wrench on the inside, and change out your uppers. And there we have it, bumper back on. Fresh Assault Billet rods. Still got clearance for 15-inch wheels. No different than anywhere else. Also, we got some fresh KMCs on EFX tires. Check them out.